Hey everybody, we're back here with Luke Brewster, the bow hunter who shot the new world record hunter-taken whitetail of all time, 320 and 5/8 inches, net Boone & Crockett and Pope & Young score. An absolutely mesmerizing deer and a really cool story to tell you about how he shot this deer. Now last week we talked a lot about the details about how special the antlers are, how historic the deer is, but Luke, let's get into the story of how you made it happen, because that's what a lot of people want to know is how does a guy, especially a guy who lives in Virginia and shoots a deer in northeastern Illinois, how do you make it happen?
Right, so I got a little bit of family land out in Illinois, and I always try to make it a yearly thing to get out there for the rut. And so we had previously gotten pictures of this deer. We've had about 4 years of pictures of him. Past 2 years, he had definitely been a shooter.
Well, the thing is, everybody would say, well, a deer like this must have looked something like this for a long time if he's obviously a big, fairly mature deer. But the question is, how did his rack change from the time you first found out about him till the time you shot him?
Right, so 2 years ago, he was a typical. And
oh, really?
Last year, he turned into a non-typical. He got injured sometime 2 years ago, and came back as a non-typical and had a little bit of stuff coming off his left side, and we had one of the guys I hunt with. He had a shot at him at 43 yards, and unfortunately he wasn't able to put a tag on him because the arrow deflected off her.
Well, it's bad for your buddy that he missed a shot in 2017, but that opened the door for you to shoot the deer yourself in 2018, and obviously was even bigger at that point. So tell me how it all came together on November 2nd.
So November 2nd, I woke up, got to a tree stand, not in the area where we have some pictures of him, but similar, pretty close area, and sat in the tree stand. I was watching a few does. Didn't see any bucks. We discussed where we were gonna go for the next sit, and my buddies had chosen stands, where we had pictures of him last that were pretty close to where he's been roaming around. I had chosen one, a bit farther south, same neck of the woods, but still connected to those woods, and I ended up picking the right stand because
evidently, yeah.
He walked in front of me at 26 yards, and the rest is history.
Well, it literally is history, and when you found the deer, there is an interesting twist to the story, though, because I know he didn't go far. You made a good shot, went just off in the woods, and then you went and found him. But what's interesting really about this, and a thing a lot of people don't know about the record book, is that you can, in some instances, enter a repaired rack into the record book. And this one needed repair because when he ran off through the woods, when you found him, what did you see about his antlers?
Well, I noticed there's a fresh break right here where he had snapped this whole drop tine section off, and so I went and followed the blood trail to the base of the tree that he ran into, and it was laying right there at the bottom of it.
And obviously fit right back on there, so it's clear that it was him. And you had trail camera photos of it with it on there anyway,
correct,
right?
that morning of.
So even that morning you had him with it on there, so it's very obvious that it fit back on there. Boone & Crockett, Pope & Young had no problem taking that as part of the score, and that's what elevates him to 320 and 5/8 net Boone & Crockett and Pope & Young. Again, biggest hunter-taken whitetail of all time, any category, any weapon, and for you to do it with a vertical bow as a non-resident, and your second bow-killed buck ever, right?
Right.
Man, I don't know where you go from here, but it's not going to be up.
Yeah.
He is such a special deer, and Luke is a great guy, just the kind of guy you would like to shoot a deer like this. He's just, he's a former Marine, been in Afghanistan twice. He's really just the all-American story, and clearly the all-North American and all-world whitetail. Just an exceptional story about a great guy that killed an unbelievable deer.